Hello friends, it's Nancy from Astrology and Angel Mediums today with another weekly check-in video for us, for the collective, for the week of, I think today is the 23rd, Sunday the 23rd, through March 1st, I believe, which would be Saturday. So I feel like February kind of sped through, but then it also has felt very intense. So let's see what we have to hear. And I think we have a new moon this week as well. A lot of stuff in Pisces right now. So I don't know about you guys. I've been feeling the emotions and just trying to, be aware of my own kind of like where I'm at and kind of how I feel about things. So, all right, let's see. So what do we need to know as a collective for this week? Man, I'm not very good at the shuffling tonight. All right, what do we need to know as a collective this week? Today we have death. I think I got death last week. All right, what do we need to do as a collective? Have the Seven of Swords. Okay. I think I got that card last week too. All right. What do we need to release? We have the Two of Materials or Two of Pentacles or Two of Coins, whatever you want to call it. And then what do we need to contemplate? We have the Star. So we do have those two major cards. I think I may pull some Oracle guidance after I'm done with these guys first, and then we'll kind of just go into this. So first card is going to be what we need to know. So death or rebirth. I know for many of us, we're kind of feeling the sense of things are maybe ramping up. We're kind of feeling like a lot of this very intense energy, maybe feeling like there's a lot of endings that we're having to kind of contemplate or come to an understanding, I guess, if that makes sense. I know that death is a natural part of the life cycle, but again, this is more of like the metaphorical essence of it. The sense that maybe there's some doors that are closing, there's some chapters that we need to finish, there's some things that we need to learn how to move on from, because maybe for too long we've been kind of hanging on to what we thought something was going to be like, what we thought something was going to turn out like. And unfortunately with life is that we can't really control how things are going to be. We can't really control how things are going to work as much as we may have the intention that we want it to be a certain way, or that we specifically want it to kind of move in the direction that we would most appreciate it to be. So I think with this card, and especially there's also kind of like the more, excuse me, kind of like higher level kind of energy here to take into consideration, which is going to be that Pisces is the last of the zodiac signs before the astrological year begins again. So what we need to know right now is that we're kind of at this level of kind of the culmination of everything that we've gone through in the last astrological year, trying to understand what this will look like for us moving forward, and having a better understanding as to what we will do with this energy and how we can best show up in this energy. So since we do have a Pisces new moon this week as well, there is a little bit of that energy. We are going to have the eclipses starting off as well. So there is that eclipse energy that is going to feel a little bit more intense, kind of allowing us to have a deeper understanding between the elements that really inform what we believe in, and then also what we're proactively doing to kind of show up in that energy, if that makes sense. And that's kind of how I feel like the Pisces and Virgo axis eclipses are going to be very focused on, is going to be very much about like what we believe in and what that means for our kind of like energy when it's rooted and grounded in our reality. I think with this death card here, I know death is something that tends to scare off a lot of people, especially in tarot. I think that this is maybe saying that, as much as it may feel like something's being removed or taken away or ending, or, maybe we're having to come to the conclusion of something, but there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential for something to shift in perspective for us, to shift us into something else that can allow us to kind of open up a new chapter in the next thing, or allow us to kind of grow in some way. So I think the death card is here as a reminder, like, hey, as much as we may feel like things aren't really turning out the way that we had anticipated, there is something here that is going to end, and we need to be prepared for it. So that's what we need to know. That's what we need to kind of show up in, is this energy of like, okay, I know that when something is ending, it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel challenging. It's going to feel maybe even like it is something I'm not really ready to let go of yet. And so I think with the death card here, it's really that reminder of we have to just kind of let something go. And something is ending, and it just may feel very uncomfortable or very big for us at the current moment. Now, what we need to do, and I think it's funny, I feel like this card has been really following me around lately. The Seven of Swords. There's this like, I kind of look at it as like this, it's an energy that is like very sneaky, secretive, something like is just going to, be hiding behind the scenes. And so we are being told that it is an opportunity for us to look deeper and reveal the truth. I feel like the Seven of Swords can be very much a card of like mental anxiety, in the sense of we're worried that something is missing in the information that we have currently. So I think with the Seven of Swords, especially with what we need to do, is that maybe it's a reminder in saying, hey, as much as it may feel like a lot of things are out of your control, at the end of the day, this is up to us to kind of be the truth seekers, to pull back the curtain and reveal what is really truly going on here. So I think with the Seven of Swords here, we're being reminded that as much as it may feel like we're a little bit helpless, or things are really out of our hands or out of our control, there's something that is ending. There's an opportunity for a rebirth. There's a transformation here. And in order for us to really take advantage of the energy that is being presented to us at this time, it is an opportunity for us to plant the seeds for truth, to reveal the secrets, to kind of, again, not let this energy be something that distracts us or keeps us from really seeing the truth of what is actually happening. So this week may feel like some things are kind of coming, again, to the surface, to a head. Maybe there's a different level and sense of renewed responsibility and understanding as far as like what's going on and how you're going to deal with it moving forward. To me, this card can feel a little bit challenging because it can feel very much like there's this energy of, well, how do I know where the truth is? How do I know what isn't true in this situation, especially if I already feel like I can't really see things quite so clearly at the moment? And I think the biggest thing here is that we're having to kind of let things kind of die off and end, instead of trying to force things to be what maybe they're not at the moment. So maybe with this new moon, we'll have to see what is being revealed in the darkness of the new moon. There may be a lot of things that are coming to the forefront. Maybe a lot of things are going to be revealed to us, or maybe we're going to have some revelations within ourselves that we're finally ready to really focus on and really show up for. Now, what we need to release is the Two of Materials, or the Two of Pentacles, or Two of Coins. I think this is almost saying like maybe we're so focused on like trying to balance things out and trying to show up and do this and that, and trying to maybe juggle too many things at the current moment because we perhaps don't have as much experience, or maybe we feel like there's different aspects of ourselves that we're trying to kind of find the harmony and the balance for. And the thing is that humans aren't just a monolith. We're not just one thing. We are so many different things. And even as individuals in our personal lives, we can, be so many different aspects of ourselves. And I think with the Pisces season, a lot of this is like what we start kind of looking at within our lives. Like, am I doing enough of this? Am I doing enough of that? I think as we're kind of gearing into the actual beginning of 2025's energy. And with all of the astrological placements going on, with everything kind of being in Pisces for the most part and being very intense, and us being kind of here at the tail end of Saturn being in Pisces, or sorry, Neptune being in Pisces and Saturn slowly moving, through the rest of Pisces at this current moment. I think a lot of us are kind of focusing on the different elements of like what we've accomplished, what we've been doing. Maybe we feel like we're having to make a lot of choices at the current moment that feel a little bit uncomfortable. And so I think with this talking about what we need to release is a sense of like, I have to have it balanced. Divine balance is a good thing to work towards, but it's in a lot of ways, it's not really sustainable with how we have co-created life on Earth. And so I think a lot of us forget that us trying to have a very balanced life is just not going to be something that we can maintain for the long term, because unfortunately we have so many things that we have added into our daily lives, added into our society, done to our environments, done to society in general, that make it very challenging for us to be a little bit more balanced. So maybe right now this is kind of saying like, hey, we need to kind of release the sense of I have to have it all figured out and I have to do this and I have to do that. So many of us have this like pressing responsibility to get everything right, to do everything a certain way, to show up in so many different ways for ourselves and for the people that we love and, in our relationships. And so I think that this is kind of saying like, hey, chill out, just enjoy yourself. Like nothing is going to be perfectly balanced because we're not meant to be perfect. And maybe there's a lot of things that we need, again, to kind of like cut away from and kind of reveal the truth of certain things and let some stuff go because we're ready to kind of move forward. Now, what we need to contemplate is the star. The star is really very much a card of just hope and faith and inspiration. It's the card that comes right after the tower. So it's someone saying like, hey, the breakdowns already happen. The breakthroughs are here. What has broken through? What have you learned? And what does this mean for you moving forward? So I think the star is not just an invitation to kind of be like, hey, I'm ready to kind of see what comes next. I'm ready to kind of see what I need to do in the future moving forward. I think the star is kind of saying like, as much as we may feel very redirected and kind of distracted by everything that's going on and maybe even a little bit overwhelmed, hope is what's going to get us through. And hope is going to be the most important tool in our toolbox as we kind of navigate all of the challenges and the, truths that are being revealed right now, the endings that are happening, how we can kind of balance the things that we're prioritizing and the things that we want. Hope is going to be the fuel behind that. Hope is going to be the common thread that's going to allow us to really connect with one another in very meaningful ways. And this is another major card. So this is, again, kind of saying like this week is going to be very significant for us on a personal level. Maybe it's kind of saying, okay, this new moon in Pisces may be kind of the beginning of you really paying attention to what you want, what you value, what's kind of leading you forward, what's going to allow you to feel a little bit more connected in different ways. So I think that this is going to be maybe a reminder for many of us to kind of find out, and kind of reconnect to that internal voice of hope, that internal voice of what do I believe in? And what does it mean to me as an individual to have a sense of faith? And, how can I be a little bit more inspired by the things that feel like it's the encroaching darkness around me that is keeping me small? So I think the star is going to be just a really beautiful reminder of what we need to focus on. And as much as we may feel like things are kind of falling apart in other areas or in other ways that are way outside of our control, the star is kind of saying like, okay, how can you show up? What is it that is leading you forward? What is it that's inspiring you? Where is your sense of hope? Where's your sense of reconnection to what you want and what you're hoping for, and what can kind of lead you forward and allow you to be a little bit more connected and inspired at this time. I think that this week may feel a little bit heavier in just kind of in the lessons or the realizations that we may be focusing on. I talked about a lot of the stuff in my shadow work video that will be posted this week for Pisces season. And so I think that that'll kind of help guide, where to kind of lead some of these things and expand on them as far as like what really needs to be developed at this time, what really needs to kind of grow from this. Now, I'm going to pull from this Resurrection Oracle, because I kind of feel like this is what I want, since we have like this Rebirth card and we have the Star. So let's see. Let's get some Oracle guidance here. So here we have the Dream State, which is very much, Pisces energy. It's this dreamy, languid energy. And I think that this is kind of saying like, hey, we are coming to the culmination of everything. And so right now, as much as it may feel like a lot of things are outside of our power, outside of our control, it may feel like a lot of things are just like a little dumpster fire. This is almost saying like, okay, when we are in this malleable, subconscious, activated state, what we're dreaming, what we're seeing, what we're like learning through our dreams, what sort of information is showing up for you, what kind of secrets are being revealed to you, what sort of things are, kind of saying like, this is the balance, what sort of things are we letting go of in our dreams, what's bringing us inspiration. So I think that this is almost a reminder to say, hey, there's a lot of things that maybe we've forgotten that we're capable of doing. And maybe we really, really need to be aware of how to utilize this energy moving forward. So stop holding back and stop feeling like you have to have it all figured out at the moment. So I think with the dream state, it's just going to be what it is, that maybe we need to be more activated in how this energy is showing up for us. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this reading brought you some clarity and some guidance. As always, I really appreciate you guys watching. Please take care, stay safe, and as always, make good choices. Bye.